Michael Douglas has just confirmed what many in Hollywood had long suspected: he has no real intentions of returning to acting anytime soon. Speaking candidly at the Karlovy Vary International Film Festival in the Czech Republic on July 5, 2025, the 80-year-old Oscar-winning legend revealed that he hasn't taken on a new acting role since 2022, and he's perfectly fine with that. In his own words, "I had to stop. I'd been working pretty hard for almost 60 years, and I did not want to be one of those people who dropped dead on the set." That stark but sobering admission has shocked fans, especially those who grew up watching Douglas dominate the screen across decades and genres. Now, to be clear, Michael Douglas didn't say the word retirement. In fact, he left a little crack in the door, saying if something really special came along, he might consider it. But from the way he framed his decision, deliberately stepping away, turning down roles, and prioritizing his health and personal life, it's evident that any return would be rare, if not unlikely. Douglas's last on-screen roles were as Benjamin Franklin in the miniseries Franklin, which was filmed in 2022 and released in 2024, and as Hank Pym in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania back in 2023. And while Marvel fans may still be clinging to hope, Douglas himself suggested during press rounds for Quantumania that he was ready for Hank Pym to be killed off. That, more than anything, signaled that his days in the MCU were coming to an end. So why now? Why walk away from a career that's not only legendary but still viable? Douglas explained it best himself. He talked about longevity, about pacing, and about perspective. After a terrifying stage 4 throat cancer diagnosis in 2010, he opted for chemotherapy and radiation rather than surgery, which would have damaged his ability to speak, and by extension, act. He's been in remission ever since, but he hasn't forgotten that wake-up call. At 80, he says, he wants to focus on living well, being present for his family, and, in his words, not working just to die on a set. Douglas also joked that he's enjoying his role now as the supportive husband to his wife of nearly 25 years, Catherine Zeta-Jones, saying, "I am happy to play the wife, in the spirit of maintaining a good marriage." The crowd laughed, but the message was clear: he's shifted into a new chapter of life, one where he's no longer chasing the next big role. And this wasn't just a random announcement. Douglas was honored at Karlovy Vary with a surprise Crystal Globe Award during a special 50th anniversary screening of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the groundbreaking 1975 film that Douglas produced and which went on to win the Oscar for Best Picture. It was a full-circle moment, from young producer to living legend, being celebrated for a lifetime of achievement while announcing that he's ready to step away. Still, Douglas isn't stepping out of the entertainment world entirely. He continues to run his production company, Further Films, and he hinted at developing a little independent movie, though no further details have been released. There's also Looking Through Water, an upcoming film in post-production, which features Douglas alongside his son Cameron. That project is expected to be released later in 2025, and while it may be one of his final on-screen appearances, it also marks a symbolic passing of the torch. Social media has exploded with reaction since Douglas made his announcement. Fans and fellow celebrities have flooded comment sections with words like legend, icon, and thank you. Clips of his classic performances, Wall Street, Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct, Romancing the Stone, are circulating widely, as fans relive the most electrifying moments of his career. Some are hopeful this is just a break, others are already mourning the end of an era. Beyond Hollywood, Douglas also used his time at the festival to reflect on broader issues. He voiced concern about the direction of American politics, specifically the growing threat of autocracy and the dangerous influence of money in political discourse. It's not the first time Douglas has used his platform to speak out. He's long been an advocate for gun control, education, and democracy, but the timing of these remarks made it feel like he's looking to leave more than just cinematic legacy behind. He's thinking about the world his grandchildren will inherit. So, what does this all mean? It means that as of now, July 2025, Michael Douglas has pressed pause, maybe permanently, on his acting career. He's not chasing scripts, he's not angling for a comeback, and he's definitely not trying to be the guy who burns out at the finish line. Instead, he's choosing to spend his 80s in peace, in health, and with family. And if the right project knocks on his door? Sure, maybe. But until then, Douglas is stepping away from the spotlight, not because he has to, but because he's earned the right to. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.